Hi, I'm Bhavish, and in this video we are going to look at the concept of library list in AS400. So if we look at a command like WRKLIBL, and if we do F4 in the tag for library or in the parameter for library, we sometimes see a pre-written value that is star LIBL. So what is this star LIBL? The full form of this is library list. LIB stands for library and L stands for list. So by default, it is going to search for objects in my library list. We are going to see what is a library list, what is the purpose of library list, and how it is used in our AS400 systems. So let us go through the article. If you just specify the name of the object, it will give you the object details. So for example, if I quickly find an object, random object, like let's say help is an object I have seen here. If I just do WRK OBJ help without specifying in which library the object help is present, as you have seen before in our previous videos, everything in AS400 is an object, and those objects are present in libraries. But now I want to look at the details of the object named help, but I do not know in which library the object help is present. But still, if I just press WRKOBJ space help, it shows me two entries. Why two entries? Because the object is of different type, but it automatically fetched the library for me. I did not have to type the name of this library. Why did this happen? Because this library was on my library list. Let's understand this in detail. So if you are coming from a Windows or Linux background, this concept will feel unfamiliar. What is a library list? Because there is no single current directory or a directory list in a Windows PC or a Linux server. So IBM on AS400, there is a concept of library list, which is also star LIBL, as we have seen. It is an ordered list of libraries that the system searches in sequence whenever you reference an object without qualifying it by library. So if this object would be to present in, if this object was present in multiple libraries, it would have shown me the object multiple times as it is there in the library list which is set for my profile. We will get the idea as we go ahead in the article. So as we have seen, every object on AS400 is, everything on AS400 is an object. Like a program is an object, file is an object, the data area, whatever, and everything is an object, and everything lives inside a library, as we just saw. Libraries are also themselves a special type of object. The type of an object of a library is star library, and it holds other objects. So when you run a command or call a program without telling the system exactly which library you want to find that program in, AS400 doesn't guess. It will not search for all the libraries in the system. It will only go through the list of libraries that are there on your library list, library by library, in a fixed order. So there is a priority in the library list in which it will try to search the program, and it uses the first matching object that it finds. So if we can execute DSPLIBL in our system, so DSPLIBL command stands for the display library list. DSP stands for display, LIB stands for library, and the last L stands for list. So display library list is DSPLIBL. So I have done DSPLIBL. It has given me a list of libraries. So these libraries are nothing but my library list. So this is my library list. Other user ID's library list is going to be different. It is dynamic and it changes user by user. It is designed in such a way that every user will have his own library list. Some of the libraries which are there in the library list are system libraries. Some of them are my personal libraries. Some of them are temporary libraries. And some of them are customized entries on the library list. So when I search for an object, let's say if I do WRKOBJ space the name of the object, help. If help is the name of the object, it will search for that object in all these libraries starting from top to the bottom. As soon as it gets a hit, it will give a reference that I have got this object in this library. Or we can also edit the library list with WRKLIBL. So let's try that. So the command is EDTLIBL. So when I execute EDTLIBL, it allows me to edit the list of libraries. But as you can see, I'm not getting the system libraries over here. In DSPLIBL, if you remember 2 minutes ago, the list of libraries was larger. It also included system libraries. But here, I'm not able to add or remove the existing system libraries. Those will stay on. I will be able to modify my own personal libraries in this list. I can add more libraries at the top. I can cut paste this below, or I can add more libraries below as per the priority. If I add a library above, it will have a higher priority. So I can edit it using EDTLIBL. So this should not be WRKLIBL, but EDTLIBL. So there are different types of library lists, as we have seen. There are some libraries which are system libraries. So system libraries means the AS400 operating system level libraries. So some libraries are IBM libraries. So most importantly, QSys, which hold the core operating system objects. So this portion is controlled by the operating system, and it cannot be changed per job or per user. Then there are product libraries, which are reserved for licensed program products. These are also not touched manually. Then there is the current library. So every library tied to our job, typically set by the user profile or job description, current library parameter. That is the library where the system will look for the object and it will create the object. So there is a user portion of the library, as we just saw in EDTLIBL. It allows you to specify multiple libraries. So how do we add library? We can add library, remove library, edit library list with multiple commands like add library, list element, remove an element from the library list, and so on. So if the same object exists in multiple libraries, how does the AS400 system know which one to use? That is a question, which is a genuine question to ask. So for example, if we create a file called as CUST-MAST, which is customer master file, and it is sitting in 3 libraries like PROD library, product library, test library, and my library. And if our program internally calls for the file without giving the name of the library, then the AS400 operating system will resolve the object in this order. So it will start at the top of the library list. So as we have seen, it will try to search for the object in the top library first, in the system libraries. If it does not find it in these libraries, it will keep on going down and down till the last library. If it doesn't find the object in any library, then it will report that the object is not there. So one at a time, it will check whether the object is present in this library or not. And the very first instance where it gets the object, it will stop there and it will use that object. So if you are trying to refer a file, and if the file is present in a library called bnande1, then it will search for that object in all the libraries from top. It will not find the file object in any of these libraries because it exists in only one library, that is bnande1. When it will come to bnande1, it will hit the object, it will get the object, then it will use the object directly. It will give you the result, or it will execute the object, or whatever the object is meant to do, it will happen. It will then not go ahead. It will just stop over here and this object is going to get used. If the object was instead present in QSys2 library, it would use the object which is there in QSys2. It will not go down to bnande1. The object which is there in QSys2 is going to get used. So it doesn't pick the right copy, it will pick the first copy that will find. It is purely based on the order of the libraries in the library list. There is no comparison of timestamp, and there is no size comparison on anything else. So if the test library is in both, if the test lib object is in both production library and customer, and so for example, if the test library also has the object and prod library also has the object, and if the test library sits higher than the prod library, then it will pick up the version in the test library and it will use it. If you want to specify the exact library from which the object you want to use, you will have to specify the library name before the object name. So PRODLIB/customer master. This is an explicit specification of which object I want to use. Then the IBM AS400 will not search for the object, it will use it directly. So why do we have such type of design? It will seem odd, but it is a very clever piece of environment management. It allows you to have the same program name called in the same way resolved to completely different objects on context. So for example, a developer's library might be there. So a developer might put devlib at the top with the add library list element command. Then it will pick up their object, which is work in progress. A tester's library, if it is put first, then it will use the tester's version of that object. And production or jobs are typically configured via job description to only see the production library. There, the development library or the testing library will not be seen. So there is also a possibility where an environment can be designed where multiple libraries exist in an order, where you can have development libraries, the test libraries, the production libraries, one below the other. And when a developer logs in, he will get the reference of the objects if they are there in the development library. A tester, once he logs in, he will not see the development because his library list, his user ID is going to be different. The library list which is there for the tester's user ID is going to be different. It will not have the developer's library. It will only have the tester's library. Then the objects it will refer to when the testers logs in will be the objects which are present in the test library. It will not even see the object which are there in the developer's library. So the objects which are there in developer's library will become completely invisible for the tester. So the testing environment then becomes sanitary. The testing environment will then only hold, the tester will only be able to execute the objects which have passed the developer's development and they have been promoted to testing. Similarly, if on production, when a production user ID logs in, the production user ID will only have the production library in the production environment. It will not have the developer library or the tester's library. It will only have the production library. So when it is a production user login, for that user, all the other versions of the object which are there in development or in testing will be invisible for the production user ID. Direct production ready code or the production ready object or the production ready file will be accessible to the user ID which is there on production. So in that way, it is a very clever management of sorts where the versions of the object can be maintained, and for a different user which is logging in, the environment will look completely different from another user where he is looking to use the system in a different way, like a tester. From his perspective, from his point of view, the environment is going to look completely different. So this is essentially IBMI's or AS400's built-in mechanism for environment switching. There is no separate deployment paths, no changing file references. It is just, you can just different library list as per the job or as per the job description. So we have looked at the display library list command, the EDTLIBL. This is supposed to be EDTLIBL, add, remove, change library list, edit library lists, and so on. So that was it for today's video. We covered library list and we did a deep dive into what are library lists and the functionality and why is a library list required and so on. If you do like these kind of videos, kindly consider subscribing to the channel. Thank you for watching. See you in the next one.